Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again here on Instagram for another Waldorf Wine Wednesday. I'm Christian Laroche, sales manager for Waldorf Wine Group here in Vancouver. And as the name implies, Waldorf Wine Wednesday. This is something that we have been doing now for over 4 years. It's our way. We pivoted a little bit and went online to do some features of all things Waldorf Wine Group. We look at wines that are currently in the market. We look at some wines that we're thinking about bringing to market. We'll try some samples from time to time. We talk any promos we might be having, any visiting winemakers or any events that might be going on. And as I said, all things under the Waldorf Wine Group umbrella. For those of you not familiar, Waldorf Wine Group, we're a small family-owned wine importing agency. We've been around since 1993. We were founded by Andy Waldorf, still at the helm, and we operate in British Columbia and Alberta, and we import European wines all across the range, from small family-owned estates, co-op cellars, to very, very famous chateaus, and everything in between. And speaking of everything in between, we're going to be trying something a wee bit different tonight. We have featured it here before, but I thought it'd be worth a bit of a revisit because here we are. We're in June. We've come through a little bit of a rainy patch here, and now we're getting back into some sunny weather, and we're doing some more patio activities or poolside activities or get-togethers, weddings, parties, functions, and what have you. And so I thought this would be a good time to look at some more rosé wine, but we're looking at something a wee bit more unique, and also a little bit of an unsung hero in the world of wine. By the way, if you haven't done so already, I do invite you to follow us here on Instagram. We're currently around 545 followers and hope to bump that up a wee bit more. We've got a really good, loyal following. I see our good friend David Lancelot there. Good to see you, David. Glad you could be here. Let's flip the camera around. We are down in the far south of France and in the Languedoc as well. So let's flip the camera around. We are trying. Yeah, that's very rosy. This is Chateau Coupe Rose from the Minervois region of the Languedoc, an old family-owned estate. It's currently run by the Le Calvet family, Françoise Le Calvet, and her husband, Pascal Frisant, along with son and daughter, Matthias and Syrah. We had Syrah here in Vancouver not too long ago. She came through to spread the gospel of Chateau Coupe Rose wines. Chateau Coupe Rose, the Le Calvet family traces their origins in the region going back to at least 1614. And they started off as tile makers, hence the name Coupe Rose, the pink tiles, and that was their business as well, and they were grape growers, and we'll pull it up on the Google Earth map. It's an interesting setup. The winery is organic, and it's also following it's biodynamic as well, certified by Demeter. So they follow the principles of Rudolf Steiner, basically, and what it is, this is a very, very much an oversimplification, I guess. I guess it takes organics a step further. They follow, well, first and foremost, they treat their entire vineyard as a connected living organism between, the flora, the fauna, all the plant life, and of course, as you can imagine, no chemicals or no pesticides. They follow the astral calendar for all of their practices, and they have some really interesting practices as well. Very, very labor intensive, but really good wines, very, very fairly priced, I think, for the quality. They do a number of different bottlings. We bring in a few to the market here in British Columbia. Besides the Fremillant Rosé that we're trying here. Now, I wanted to try this rosé because it's a little bit atypical for what somebody might be used to for a southern rosé. This is quite it's quite a skookum rosé. There's a goodly dollop of Mourvèdre grape that you might be familiar with from Provence. The Bandol wines are based on Mourvèdre, and they make some fairly toothsome rosé wines, let me tell you. Some good body on them for sure. As mentioned, we're bringing in a number of wines. Now, these wines mostly are only available at private BCLDB stores. We bring in the young red, the Bastide Minervois, currently available as a Spec product here at private wine shops and restaurants. As we're trying tonight, we're trying the Fremillant Rosé, which is also a Spec product. And then we have a few 6-packs as well of the Orience. It's their super cuvée, which is based almost 90% on Syrah. Gosh, such a gorgeous wine. We also, Chateau Coupe Rose also produces natural wines with no added sulfur to the wine, and we bring in a little bit of that. We're just on the tail end of some as we speak right now at the BCLDB stores rather. It's called Naturamania Minervois, and look for it there. It's a really, really interesting take on a Languedoc red. Very, very interesting, kind of a neat, mealy, earthy red without being too funky. But for our purposes today, I think that these wines, they have a unique application. I mean, you can certainly sit and sip them on their own, but there's definitely a little bit more color, a little bit more extraction. This is all done in stainless steel with extended lease contact as well, and it really shows up in the wine. Like I said, this is a very toothsome rosé. It's certainly got some body to it, so you can certainly partner it with richer foods. We've certainly enjoyed it with like grilled ahi tuna steaks, some grilled sausages and lentils and that sort of thing too. It's a hearty wine, a little bit on the rustic side, but it's great for that. Good barbecue wine all around her. So let's flip the camera out. I think this might be a good time to get into it. Maybe pull it up on the Google Earth map and show you where we're located. So let's just get the bottle out of shot. Now this is the 2022 vintage. We have a few cases of it left in the warehouse right now, and I wanted to give it a try because it's a wine that can certainly stand up to a little bit more bottlage. I mean, it's it's not long in the tooth by any means. It's a wine that can age a wee bit and evolve if you like some more developed flavors as well too. But let's pop the bottle just out of shot, and let's pull up our Google Earth map if we may. So as mentioned, we are in the Languedoc, far south of France, just off the coast, a little southwest of Avignon. So if we go southwest from Avignon, we hit Nîmes. And then we hit Montpellier, and then here, right around between Béziers and Narbonne on the coast, just going inland here, we are literally right in between here, just by the town of Minervois, which gives its name to the Minervois region, and Chateau Coupe Rose is actually here in La Caunette. Up high on a plateau. Actually, I believe I have a shot here. Let me just flip our screen here, give you an idea. Oopsie, pardon me. I guess I don't have it on this one. Oh well, too bad. We'll have to do it again. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let us flip this over. Sorry, I'm a little bit in a bit disarray today. Here we are. We're high up on a plateau here, and the property actually set up shop in an old garage, and they converted it to their offices and their tasting room, and as you can see, they've put solar panels throughout here on the roof, and they're just on the southeastern part of La Caunette. You know what? I'm going to pull up, I've got a short, like a 1-minute video that I got off of Facebook showing a drone flyover. So check this out, if you will, just momentarily. It gives you an idea. This is fairly high up on the plateau, about 450 meters above sea level. And it's clay and limestone. So you get a good diurnal shift. Yeah, check out those cliffs. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But you get a good diurnal shift of temperature, cool nights with moderate temperatures, and allows the grapes to ripen fairly slowly and get some good natural acidity and flavor in the wines. And you really pick up some of the high-toned garrigue aromas and quite dense fruit as well. Yeah, so... yeah, really beautiful landscape, I must say. Boom, and there we go. So yeah, most of the fruit is sourced up here, just a little bit northeast of the village. As I say, on average, we're talking about 40-year-old vines, all hand-harvested. Since 1991, a friend of theirs, François Serre, has been their consulting enologist. And he's also the consulting enologist at Chateau Reyes in Châteauneuf-du-Pape. He just actually retired, I believe, fairly recently, and his son has now taken over. This wine, it was made by... bleeding the Syrah and Grenache from vat and then direct pressing for Mourvèdre and Cinsault. As I say, the Mourvèdre is the main component at about 40%, and then it's cool fermented in stainless steel, 16 degrees Celsius, and stored in stainless steel. It spends about 3-4 months on its lease, and as I say, it's a pretty dense rosé. It's quite a hearty rosé. Probably a good time, I would say, we can kick the tires on this one, maybe give it a try and see how it's tasting. This one, because it's got a little bit more body, it still has good natural acidity, but don't forget, as I mentioned before, we are getting more into the warmer time of the year, not blazing hot just yet here in Vancouver at least, but warmer temperatures. So again, I think we have to be very careful of how we serve the wine. I find that the high acid wines we serve, we drink our white wines too cold, our red wines too warm, I generally say. But a wine like this has got a little bit more body. I don't mind serving a little bit cooler. And don't forget, it's always going to come back up to temperature when we're out on the patio. So check out the color. You got this very deep onion skin, kind of a blood orangey note going on there too. Really, really beautiful. Let's give it a swirl and a sniff and see what we have. Ooh, wow, really, really interesting. Savory, savory nose. I'm definitely picking up a little bit of cran tang. Almost like a wee bit of like a interesting kind of a rhubarby and a earthy, almost a little bit of like a tomato paste or something going on there. Really interesting. Quite spicy too. Let's give it a taste and see what we have. Wow. A lot of spicy red currant. That's a real tongue stainer. You really feel that. It's got quite a good cling in the mid palate, and then nice acidity to hold it all together. That's got a real density. Like that really has, like I said, a good cling to it. No oak on this wine. I'm just going to have one more sip if I may. It's got almost like a bit of an orange peel and a savory herb note going on, but that finish is very, very persistent, really long, spicy, and again, that wine really has some heft to it for a rosé wine. Yeah, really enjoying that. As I mentioned, I think that'll be a great wine with like grilled ahi tuna, steaks, and the like. And as I mentioned, We just had some fennel sausages with some lentils and the like. But anything goes. Grilled chicken, heartier fish, I would think. Anything like that. Salmon, maybe some sable fish or something. Or maybe some hearty cheese and charcuterie. So yeah, we are trying a biodynamic Languedoc Rosé from the Minervois. This is Chateau Coupe Rose, Fremillant Minervois, 2022 vintage. Still a little bit in stock, and it's drinking quite well right now. Another thing I'll mention about this wine too, I'm just going to pop this out here. All of the Chateau Coupe Rose wines are bottled under this. This is a Diam cork, and what this is a technical cork. It's a conglomerate cork, and instead of taking the cork oak bark and punching holes out of it, what this is ground up. And I'm just going to flip the camera around. These corks are basically, they're very good because they're not as wasteful as other cork production techniques. So what they do is, the cork is ground up into particles, and so they use it all pretty much, because a lot of times you'd be punching the plugs out of the cork bark, and you'd be left with this frame with holes in it, and it wasn't being used at all. So what they do is they grind down the particles, and then they cleanse it with supercritical CO2. So what that is, that's carbon dioxide in between a liquid and a gas state. And as my knowledge tells me, which is not very much, I believe the process was developed for decaffeination of coffee, I believe, back in the 1950s. I think it grew out of that. But what I'm told, too, is that supercritical CO2 can be reused over and over. I'm not sure if it's got a limit, but that in itself is helpful. Then the cork particles are put back together, and they're using a beeswax binding agent as well, too. And those corks are really, really good because they really help lower the incidence of cork-tainted wines, which is so prevalent in our industry right now as well. And it's really, really helped with that, too. So I'm glad to see a lot of our producers are switching over to that these days. So there you be. Yeah, so as mentioned, this is a restricted speculative product only available at private wine shops and restaurants here in British Columbia. And we've got a few more wines available from Chateau Coupe Rose, as I mentioned, the Bastide Minervois and the Orléans Super Cuvée Minervois, and a little bit of the Naturamania natural wine at BCLDB shops, the red from Chateau Coupe Rose. We'll be bringing more wines in from Chateau Coupe Rose, really, really good price quality offerings. I guess that's about it for the wine itself. Not much more to report. It's been a bit of a quiet week. We're still having a few products coming in, a few more Bordeaux wines. We did a reload, not a reload, we just got a new arrival, I should say, of some of our friends at Chateau Cap Léon Vérin in Listrac. We brought in a little bit of it's a Cru Bourgeois property that we really like, and we've been bringing their wines in for a while now. I had some at the BCLDB a while ago. We just brought in a little bit of the 2018 in 6-packs. We brought in some of the 2010 in 6-packs as well. We also brought in some of the 2015 in magnums, and they're very smartly priced for what they are. So really good price quality there. We also have a new baby Bordeaux, Chateau Languedoc Bordeaux Supérieur, high Merlot content in that one. Beautiful, 2019, but half bottles, a little different. We don't see a lot of half bottles of Bordeaux in the market. Handy to have if you're alone or just a couple of people having a restrained lunch. That's about it. Yeah, a few more wines in the pipeline. Our Anjou Rosé, the off-dry Gamay Grelot blend, Rosé d'Anjou Les Légériens. It is flying out. Our last cases are going out of the warehouse. So yeah, blink and you'll miss it. So you can find that at BCLDB stores. Got some new Prieto Picudo wine in from northwest Spain near León from Bodegas Pardevalles. That just arrived, their Tinto Prieto Picudo as a spec product. So lots of cool stuff going on too. So Anyway, listen, that's about all we have time for this week. If you haven't done so already, please do follow us on Instagram. Not sure what we're going to do next week. I've got a couple of things we might look at. We might try that Languedoc, a half bottle of Bordeaux. We've got some organic Gigondas from Moulin de la Gardette. We might take a look at that. I might do a cellar check too. I don't know. I was looking at some 2015 Ponte Canet. Yeah, I know it's going to probably be way too young, but I kind of want to see what it's doing, you know? So that might be another one we might do. Anyway, listen, I'm Christian with Waldorf Wine Group. Thank you so much for joining us here this week. And as I said before, if you haven't done so already, please do follow us on Instagram and join us here every Wednesday for Waldorf Wine Wednesday. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.